Stand up.
Fight back.
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 Get the fuck out the car, you piece of shit! You guys gonna arrest that guy that tried to murder people? Fight back!
So a white SUV just tried to plow through people at high speed.
Getting away! Where are the cops?
Second time for me in 2 months now. We all said after Charlottesville this was not going to be over and things were going to get more violent from people who want to hold on to white supremacy. And we're seeing it here in Kirkwood, Missouri tonight. We saw it in St. Louis last week where someone was
Hey, I got a job to get to, brother, to support you for standing out here, okay?
What's that
You're
job?
screwing up people making money right now to support you sitting here.
So what job is that you do that?
Don't worry about what I do.
I'm not
What are we
blocking you.
protesting tonight?
Well, you know, I just throwed up, but you know, there's a gentleman that got killed once.
6 years ago, and we're just now bringing it up. Okay, why don't you let the court system handle this?
They are coming. They're just waiting on the verdict.
I want in this. Why don't we let the court system handle this?
So right now they're waiting on the verdict.
You're disrupting other people's lives to get to where they need to
What's the
go.
point of a protest, though? That's why anyone's ever protested since the beginning of protests.
I live in Meacham Park. I am a white male living in a black community. Suck my dick. I am the white guy.
Dude, I'm the
All
wrong
right.
person you want to tell. Okay, all right. Do you look over your shoulder when a police officer is behind you?
God
do you
damn right I
fear?
do.
Do you fear going home
Goddamn
alive?
right.
Yes, from the police.
Fear going home from everybody.
Oh no, that ain't the same. That ain't
Yes,
the
it
same,
is.
my man. That is not the same worry. That is the reason these people are out.
Watch, man has a debate with protesters then plows through them. By Matt Agarist, September 14, 2017. Kirkwood, Missouri. Beginning with North Dakota and their reaction to Standing Rock protesters, multiple states, including Florida, North Carolina, North Dakota, Rhode Island, Tennessee, and Texas, have introduced bills which protect drivers who run over protesters. In spite of the fact that none of these bills became law, the notion of running over peaceful protesters has become a rallying cry for those who disagree with their cause. As the tragedy in Charlottesville, Virginia illustrated last month, with Heather Heyer's death, people are willing to plow down otherwise peaceful protesters and many are willing to support it, including cops. During a protest in Kirkwood, Missouri on Wednesday, another person felt the need to plow through peaceful protesters. The entire incident was captured on video by livestream reporter, Revolutionary_Z. The protest was to demand justice for Anthony Lamar Smith and to hold his killer accountable. As TFTP reported last year, years after he thought he got away with killing Smith, former St. Louis police officer, Jason Stockley was arrested and charged with first-degree murder for the shooting death Smith. A verdict in the ominous shooting death is expected this week. Advertisement. What sets this incident apart from the Charlottesville tragedy is that the man who allegedly drove his SUV through the protest was recorded just minutes prior having a peaceful debate with protesters. During the talk, the man seemed to want to engage the protesters, going so far as to tell a police officer who attempted to discourage him that he wanted in on this. A few minutes later, the same truck, with the same decal over the gas cover, is seen accelerating to a high speed and driving through the line of protesters walking down the street. Read more, #Freddie Gray Solidarity. Protesters clash with cops in Philly, push through the police line. The driver then stops briefly for an unknown reason as people run up to his door to retaliate. Luckily no one was hurt during the entire ordeal. It is important to note that while the Free Thought Project understands the reason people block roads during protests, we find it counterproductive when it comes to inciting meaningful change. For those who are unaware, protesters block roads not to gain support but to show others what it feels like to be in a powerless situation. A protest is taking place because an injustice has occurred and people are upset that they had no power to stop it or make it right. For example, When a cop kills an innocent person and faces no consequences, this makes people feel powerless and angry, so they block roads to raise awareness to this feeling. While that idea may seem like a good way of showing others your perspective, it ends up alienating and intimidating entirely random people who may already have that perspective. That being said, however, it is an entirely nonviolent act which makes a violent response to it entirely unjust. So, the man in the video below, who sped through a crowd of protesters, was most certainly in the wrong. And, as the video shows, it appeared that he wanted to do this. As seen in the video, the truck was not surrounded by protesters, nor was he threatened by them in any way. He was multiple car lengths away from the group of protesters before he began honking his horn and plowing through the group. Read more than 100 injured, 400 trapped, as militarized cops unleash fury on peaceful DAPL protesters.
Hey Charlotte County, this is Charlotte County Cop Watch, and I'd like to thank you for all your years of support through the years. As a result, this channel has grown and allowed me an equity partnership in carmarshal.com. Please take the time to check them out. They help you buy and sell your next car, even have a negotiating tool to save you from the hassle of haggling with multiple dealers. The link is in the description below. Please click and help support and give if you can too through PayPal or Patreon. Thanks again.